Welcome to SVM's Blitz for the Big Northern West and the NIB-12 West for Week 8 of the high school football season. I'm Dan Woessner alongside Christopher Heimerman and Patrick Petrosky, and we'll be taking you around the 3 games in those 2 conferences this week. Our lone Northern Illinois Big 12 West game of the week features our 2 teams in that conference. The Dixon Dukes going to Sterling Chevrolet Field at Roscoe Eads Stadium to play the Sterling Golden Warriors. The Dukes are coming off a tough loss to Ottawa, 49-21. The Dukes had won the week before against LP, seemed to be building some momentum, but then they fell behind 42-0 by halftime to the Pirates, and even though they played better in the second half, at that point the game was over. Sterling has lost 2 in a row to Streeter, and then last week to Geneseo, 38-19. At 3-4, the Warriors have their backs against the wall, need to win in order to stay in the playoffs. They're trying to extend an 11-year streak of playoff berths and an 11-game winning streak against the Dukes. The side note to this game, this will be the last time that Dixon and Sterling play in the regular season. They've played pretty much every year since the early 1900s. My prediction is Sterling extends the winning streak, keeps their playoffs hopes alive, but it's going to be a close game. Sterling wins 22-18.
Our next matchup brings us to the Big Northern West, where 3-4 Mendota travels to Oregon to take on the also 3-4 Hawks. You gotta love this desperation time for 2 teams that need to win out to become playoff eligible. Not to mention, if they are eligible, they're gonna get into the playoffs because of all those playoff points playing in the Western Division. And in the honor of talking about a kid named Wyatt, I thought I'd rock the Urban Cowboy shirt for today. The Hawks are going to have to corral Wyatt Martinson in order to set up a matchup with Rock Falls next week to get to 5-4. Both these teams have to feel good about what they did on Friday night. Mendota took care of business, beating Rock Falls 57-34. Meanwhile, the Hawks with a little bit of a moral victory, not exactly letting Winnebago run away with their game, losing 28-7 after trailing 21-0 at the half. This could very well boil down to Wyatt Martinson, who racked up 246 yards on 4 carries against Rock Falls, against Nick Newman, the Oregon back, who's got 666 yards. Good for 6th in the area. A lot of 6s might make you uncomfortable. It could come down to which one of those guys can put his team on his shoulders in the waning minutes. Or maybe on the flip side, it could be one of those defenses that steps up and helps out. And that's where I think Oregon has the edge. I like Newman's supporting cast a little bit more. I'm going to take the Oregon Hawks in this one, 31-27.
Our last game in the Big Northern West is the Battle of the Rockets as Rock Falls visits Burlington Central. Burlington Central was officially eliminated from the playoffs last week as they lost to Richmond Burton in overtime, 14-13. They are officially mad and playing for pride. Rock Falls, on the other hand, is coming off a big loss, like Chris said, as Mendota beat them 57-34. Their defense is allowing 53 points a game. That's not good. The Rockets of Burlington Central are going to get this one, 45-21.